It is 6:47 on a Tuesday morning. David is sitting at the kitchen table. Same chair, same mug, same view of the backyard he has looked at for 19 years. Everything is the same. Except today, he is not going to work. Not because he is sick. Not because it is a holiday. Because at 59 and a half, David retired. 14 years before most people he knows will even consider it. One number made it possible. A number most people walk past their entire working lives without ever understanding what it actually unlocks. This video is about that number, and by the end of it, you will understand why the people who retire early almost always point to 59 and a half as the moment everything changed, and why the people who don't retire early almost always admit they never understood what it meant. Most people know the surface version of 59 and a half. It is the age when the 10% early withdrawal penalty disappears from your retirement accounts. You can access your 401k, your IRA, without the extra cost. That is true, and it is missing almost everything that matters. Because 59 and a half is not just a penalty removal date. It is the opening of the most strategically powerful window in your entire financial life. A period between 59 and a half and 73 where the decisions you make about your retirement accounts have more impact on your lifetime wealth than almost anything you did during the accumulation phase. Most people treat this window as a waiting room. They sit in it for years, watching the calendar, assuming that more time in the account means more money at the end. Sometimes that is true. Often, above 59 and a half, it is the single most expensive assumption they will ever make. David spent 31 years as a civil engineer. He maxed his 401k every year from 38 onward. By the time he turned 53, he had $847,000 in his traditional 401k, $124,000 in a Roth IRA, and a paid-off house. No debt. 2 kids through college. A wife who worked part-time and loved it. At 53, he ran the full projection, not the simple version, the uncomfortable one. What his 401k would look like at 73 when required minimum distributions kicked in. What his tax bracket would be when the government forced him to start withdrawing $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, whether he needed it or not. What he found was this. If he kept deferring until 65, his RMDs combined with Social Security would push him into the 24% tax bracket permanently. The account he had spent 27 years building was quietly becoming a tax liability in slow motion. So he changed the plan. Not dramatically. Quietly. He started redirecting contributions to his Roth. He started doing small Roth conversions each year, moving money from the traditional account, paying tax at the lower rate, shrinking the future RMD bomb 1 year at a time. And at 59 and a half, the window fully opened. David walked through it. Here is what that window actually contains. The penalty removal is just the door. What's behind it is complete flexibility over your taxable income. Something you have never had before and will never have again in the same way. Before 59 and a half, your income is mostly your salary, largely fixed. After 73, your income is partially forced by RMDs. But between 59 and a half and 73, if you have planned correctly, you control almost every dollar that appears on your tax return. You decide how much to convert from traditional to Roth each year. You pay tax now at your current rate, which in early retirement, before Social Security starts, is often the lowest it has been since your 20s. Every dollar you convert is a dollar that will never be taxed again. Every dollar you leave in the traditional account is a dollar that will eventually be forced out at whatever rate Congress decides in 20 years. David converted $40,000 per year for 4 years between 59 and a half and 63. He paid 22% on every dollar. His projection shows those dollars would have been taxed at 32% if left until RMDs, That is $40,000 in tax savings from a decision most people never make because nobody explained the window to them. The window also changes the Social Security timing decision. Most people make that choice in under a week based on a feeling. The right way to make it is to model your withdrawal strategy first. Because when you claim Social Security interacts directly with how much you pull from your accounts, your tax bracket, and how long your money lasts. Waiting from 62 to 70 to claim Social Security increases your monthly benefit by roughly 77%. For a married couple, where the higher earner waits until 70, that difference over a 25-year retirement can exceed $300,000 in total household income. David is waiting. He can afford to, because his bridge fund covers the gap. If you are getting something from this, subscribe. We go this deep every week, and next week's video is directly connected to what we are covering today. Before we go further, a quick note. I am not a financial advisor, and everything I share in this channel comes from research, analysis, and stories like David's, not from professional financial credentials. The concepts in this video are real, and the math is accurate, but your situation is unique. Before making any decision about your retirement accounts, Roth conversions, or Social Security timing, please talk to a qualified financial advisor who knows your full picture. Now, let's continue. The bridge fund is the piece most people miss entirely. If you want to retire before Social Security begins, or before Medicare at 65, you need income that does not come from Social Security and does not trigger a large tax bill. That income has to come from somewhere outside your retirement accounts, something accessible immediately, with no penalty, no forced timing. David had $180,000 in a taxable brokerage account when he retired. 3 years of living expenses, accessible the next morning. That money was his bridge. It let him delay Social Security, keep doing Roth conversions at the 22% bracket, and not touch his retirement accounts until the timing was right. Most people never build the bridge because nobody told them they needed one. They save into their 401k because that is what you are supposed to do. The taxable brokerage account, the flexible, accessible bridge-building account, sits empty. The result is that they reach 59 and a half with the window wide open and no ladder to climb through it. Here is what I want you to understand. The financial industry profits from accumulation, from assets under management, from keeping money in accounts for as long as possible. Your advisor earns a percentage of the money they oversee, which means their incentive is to keep it there, ideally in the accounts they manage. Explaining that you should convert money out of your traditional 401k into a Roth, shrinking the balance they manage, is not in their interest. Explaining that you should build a taxable brokerage account they may not oversee is not in their interest. Explaining the full strategic picture of the 59.5 window requires them to work against their own compensation structure. This is not a conspiracy. It is just incentives. And understanding it is the difference between a retirement that works and one that costs you $200,000 in avoidable taxes. David figured this out at 53. He had 6 years to prepare. When the window opened, he was already halfway through it. The window will open for you, too. The only question is whether you will know what to do when it does. Run your RMD projection this week. Take your traditional 401k and IRA balance today. Projected at 6% annual growth to age 73. Divide by 26.5. Write that number down. Then add your expected Social Security. If the total pushes you into the 24% bracket, you are already inside the problem, and 59.5 is the window where you fix it. If you are more than 10 years from 59.5, start your bridge fund now. Even $300 a month into a taxable brokerage account gives you $36,000 over 10 years before any growth. That is the difference between walking through the window and standing outside it. And if you are already past 59 and a half, if the window is already open, ask yourself honestly, do you have a plan for this window? Or are you just waiting for 65? Because David is not waiting. He is at his kitchen table at 6:47 on a Tuesday morning, drinking his coffee, watching the backyard he has looked at for 19 years. The difference is that now, for the first time, he chose to be there. Tell me in the comments, how far are you from 59 and a half? And has anyone, any advisor, any financial planner, anyone, ever explained to you what that number actually means for your strategy? I want to know. I read every single one. Subscribe. Because next week, we are covering the RMD mistake that 84% of retirees make. And it is the exact trap that David spent 6 years making sure he would never fall into.